Were you nervous doing your one man show last week?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't come across that way on the camera.
I don't believe that.
It's the program, Monday, August 4th, 2025. We are back at it again. I survived. I'm alive.
Yes, you did.
Thank you for all the well wishes and thoughts that I'm assuming y'all gave and sent my way. I'm going to accept them. You did shout me out, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I live because of you, Aiden.
Yeah,
your healing thoughts through the power of the internet. Yeah.
Through the power.
That's right. Fight the power. We're back. It is the beginning of, when this releases, DCI Finals Week. All the eyes, all the trucks, all the vans are making their way back to Indianapolis, Indiana, for a very quick season. Can you believe that it is already Finals Week?
Honestly, yes.
Oh.
I don't know. To me, I feel like it's like... It's been an appropriate amount. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To me.
Oh, to you? All right. I'm used to much longer seasons. I'm used to shows beginning in late June, that kind of thing, a movie theater show. I don't know. One more week would feel right.
That's fair.
To me.
That's fair.
To me. But, and especially if you're paying $6,000, you might want another week.
That's even more fair.
But also, if you had 5 weeks of move-ins, I don't know, you might be ready to... I don't know. I'd be curious.
Yeah.
Do you think the season feels short? Because it is short. It is short, but at least we have a season. Years ago we didn't have drum corps, and then we had kind of drum corps, and we're getting back. We're getting back post COVID. So that's really great. We're here. We're alive, and we're talking about drum corps. Now, you may have noticed how fashionable I look today. I'm a man of my word. And because the Genesis Drum and Bugle Corps out of Austin, Texas played the Sega Genesis Soundcheck sound, I said I would go and purchase a shirt. And I did at San Antonio, the Alamo. And I said I would wear it on the next episode of the program. It was the next episode that I appeared in the program.
To be fair.
Aiden was solo last week, and we applaud him, and he did a fantastic job. And I think everyone in the comments loved you. We'll just say that they all loved you. Yeah, they really did. A lot of great comments, a lot of great stuff. But yeah, so I'm wearing my Kaleidoscope Heart t-shirt supporting the Genesis Drum and Bugle Corps. So looking forward to seeing how the final week goes, not only for Genesis, but for everyone else. But this weekend was the last time before the last time that all the drum corps meet together. Technically not really together, but it's two different shows, Friday and Saturday night. It's the same judging panel, so that's why people say you can compare the scores.
This is the one time that no one's really going to be mad.
Correct, because the idea is that the judges on Friday leave space or keep in mind when you get to Saturday where the other drum corps fit.
Yep.
Ideally, you get some neighborhood battles, some 1s and 3s and whatever. And I think there was only one neighborhood, might have been the Colts, Troopers, Blue Knights area, that I think they actually were on the same night. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you put the scores together, you see how it goes and all that stuff. And in the power of the computers, we did put the scores together on there. And there's a few bits about all of that stuff.
Yep.
Blue Coats came out on first. This is all if you put the scores together and combine them, with the second highest score in Allentown history, scoring a 96.475. And when that score came out on Friday, I was like, oh my gosh, like this are they about to just like open the gap? But then last night, with the third highest score in history, Boston scores a 96.375, 1/10 of a difference. And when you're both fighting for the championship, which it looks like these are our two runaway. At this point, it's between these two. Every 10th does count. The power of the 10th. We get into third place, and here's a group that, again, I understandably made a horrible prediction about at the beginning of the season. Santa Clara Vanguard currently seated third based on the Allentown results with a 95.4. No, that is something I think we saw as a possibility as the season went on, and you may have predicted it for Did you predict that for San Antonio?
And they called me crazy. And I thought I was crazy too, but it ended up working out in my favor, so.
Man, look at that. Aiden's totally accurate prediction. Blue Devils in fourth. Now that is something I don't. I think you have to go back to. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2000, maybe the last time The Blue Devils were in 4th or even close to 4th. I don't know. No, it might have been Yowza Yowza Yowza, Dance Derby of the Century. I think that's the one.
Dang,
you know that show?
Knowledge. No.
Let me know in the comment section down below. Crown in 5th, Phantom in 6th. So we still have that jostling around. However, Phantom did have a show last night that was non-Allentown.
Okay.
And their score is actually higher than what Crown placed. So, you know, apples, oranges, pears, bananas. Like you called them. What was your island for Mandarins called?
Oh, the Mandarin's Private Resort.
The Mandarin's Private Resort. That's a really good segment. I don't know if I said it to you I was still recovering from flu B. So get your flu shots or stay healthy. Drink your fluids, all that stuff. That was my favorite thing that you pulled out.
The islands.
Was the Aiden's Islands and the graphics. You have a graphics degree? Are you a graphic designer?
I dabbled one class in high school.
It's pretty good.
Shout out Mr. Wesley.
It didn't look thrown together. It didn't look MS Paint. Y'all use MS Paint? Mario Paint? It was pretty good.
That MS Paint's been gone for a little bit now, but I used to.
All right, thank you. Yes, Mandarin's Private Resort Island. Looks like it may maintain all the way through. Cavaliers 8th, Blue Stars 9th, Troopers in 10th, Blue Knights 11th, with the Colts finishing in 12th. I think we're going to see some of this locked in as we get. Especially,
a lot of this is like, okay, fair.
Especially when we look at the spreads. Now, here's a change. The Spirit of Atlanta currently ranked 13th as they beat the Madison Scouts in a head-on collision last night. 84.775 to an 84.638. Microscopic, like as thick as our hair, thin as our hair. And the Pacific Crest finishes off 15th. Now, why is 15th place important, Aiden?
Because it makes the movie theater show.
It makes the movie theater show, which only shows the top 15 drum corps. So you have different barriers. We want to make semis. We want to make finals. But you also want to make the movie theater. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about some fun facts. Fun facts about that. Now, this spread, which we talked was 0.10, a tenth. It is the closest spread between the top two a week before finals since 2015. So in the last 10 years, it's been a wider spread. And we're talking like 0.1 something or 0.2 or maybe even a 0.3. But regardless, this is literally the closest it's been in 10 years. Last night, for the first time since 2011, the Academy Drum and Bugle Corps beat the Crossman Drum and Bugle Corps. So 14 years? It's been a while. It's been a while. Some of these, the kids are probably 15 or 16 at least. Some of them weren't even talking yet the last time the Academy beat the Crossman.
True,
Yeah, it's a big deal. We talked about Blue Stars and Troopers.
Didn't something happen last night?
Didn't Troopers beat Blue Stars?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why the order has Blue Stars over Troopers.
Well, this...
Oh, head to head. Maybe it was a different show. Maybe they had a different show?
It was just recent, yeah.
Okay, so this was the Allentown. They were together on the 1st, which was Friday. So maybe last night they went to a different show.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
I'm going to check real quick.
Yeah, he's going to check it because then that ruins all of my Allentown breakdown. Because I broke down Blue Stars versus Troopers, and that might have been from an incorrect show. But regardless, what's happening between Blue Stars and Troopers is the weaknesses by each drum corps or the strengths are matched by the other one. Right now, percussion is a weakness for the Blue Stars. Percussion is a huge...
It was DCI Williamsport.
That's the show. Okay.
Troopers were second with an 89.2.
That's what it is.
And Blue Stars with an 89.15.
Correct. So that 0.05. So this isn't Allentown related, but it's Williamsburg. Yes. Blue Stars were down 0.4 in GE, but they were up 0.8 in visual. This is over Troopers. Blue Stars won brass and music analysis by 0.2 each of these captions. However, they lost percussion by 1.3. Which is, as we've talked about almost every episode, that is SEC football versus Vandergrift JV. Like you're playing the same sport, but the spread is significant that it caused the Blue Stars to lose by 0.05.
Dang.
Yes. And Troopers have an incredible battery section, front ensemble. They've had a great, that's usually consistently their highest scoring caption overall. Yeah. And so, you got to step some things up a little bit.
It's hard sometimes to think about it because, the Blue Stars brass, they sound fantastic. But, you have to take into account everything. And that's why
We're gonna talk about the Blue Stars Brass when we get back, when we can wrap things up.
Yeah,
because I have something that I want to say about them. It's positive.
Yeah,
but you are correct. That it's good brass. And then closing it out into Allentown, I thought this was Allentown, but it's not. Blue Knights undefeated in the fan favorite vote. The drip. They got the drip.
I believe it. Yeah, I 100% believe it.
I don't know if these Coloradoans are skilled with the algorithms or the bots. Who knows?
Who knows?
I've heard in the past that people have gamed the system.
It's not secure.
I mean, it's flow marching. We're lucky that they got the text edit document working. I'm assuming it's text edit, but yes. Shout out to Flow Marching. Thank you for showing the shows.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, because it could be worse. We could
not see them at all.
We could be watching some mom's video following their child. It's like, no, just watch the whole Zoom out. Stop screaming. So that was Allentown. Now we are full transparency. We will admit our mistakes, correct some things. I want to ask you in front of everybody, the entire world. Did you know that Allentown was 2 nights when you made your predictions?
Absolutely not. And then I saw the comment and they were like, "Hey, that's a 2-night show." And I just liked their comment. I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And I was like, "Yo," and I pulled out my phone. I looked it up. I was like, I saw just page 2 of 3 of like the DC on DCI.org, like the shows of that night. It was like Allentown, and it was like night 1, and I was like, I clicked that little arrow, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a night 2.
We live and learn.
Or I could just say that maybe I was just predicting night 1.
You could, and I probably could have just done that, but you were just so confident, so good for you, but that's fine. Nobody. People are like, I think there's another night. And there was. But that's all good. Yeah, Friday night, August 1st, Saturday, August 2nd. Today is August 3rd. The video goes up on Monday, August 4th. But speaking of the month of August, now, here at the program, this isn't just drum corps. This is marching arts. We're going to talk about everything as the year goes on. And down here in the great state of Texas, August 1st is not a national holiday of any sort. It is. Okay, all right. Aiden believes it's a national holiday, but we call it Texas Marching Band Drill Day. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with how the Texas UIL system works, or TMEA, UIL, University Interscholastic League, is the organization that oversees basically all sort of
everything
competitions from football, academics, theater, drama. Like it's a big reason why the arts are so good in Texas, from the elementary to middle school to high school.
It's just systems all the way through.
Systems and processes, right? Yeah. And it is because of these things, though, that they have to put some rules in. They create rules because maybe back in the day, people were abusing how long they rehearsed, when they rehearsed, when they learned things. So one of the 2 big things when it comes to marching band here in the state of Texas is you are not allowed to learn drill for your competitive marching band show until 12 p.m. or 12 midnight, August 1st.
Yep.
And we wrote an article about this a few years ago, and I'm taking from it. Well, you can go to the General Effect Media Substack. But we call it the special day because bands around the state are allowed to learn drill and choreography for their marching show. Now, choreography, it's different from band versus color guard, which we're going to talk about. But so before August 1st, you are allowed to learn all music. You can have as many music rehearsals as you want. Typically, a lot of the bands now do a spring camp, right?
Yeah,
Leander would do a fish camp. Everyone comes in.
Yeah, you bring... all of Leander ISD does this, and a lot of... Round Rock ISD also does it. It's kind of like a around the state thing with a bunch of upper level bands. They will have... We basically invite the incoming 8th graders, and we create I say we, I'm just going to say the system that most schools do, which is they come up. Some schools bust them. Some schools just say show up. It just kind of depends. And most of it is just like, hey, we're going to play really loud and play a lot of just fun games, and then get to know us sections, basically just keeping them in band. And I've even seen some high schools, they spread out the camp sometimes. They'll do one camp in January, a week before schedules are submitted for high school. So if they were unsure about band, you get them and you basically treat them like $1 million, and they're like, I want to do band. Then they do band.
That's what you got to do. Some bands will play the fight song, school song,
stand tunes,
Lands of a Thousand
really
Dances,
loud,
and then maybe the intro or the opener, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, some schools do both movements.
Yeah, and you can find tons of videos. They get online instantly because that's just the way things go. And if I may, and this is a compliment, but it's going to start off not, but I promise you this is, I would say this even if Aiden Spicer was not here. Go and watch a May band camp performance of an opener from Leander High School. And then go watch their final show in November. And it is, pound for pound, the largest amount of growth of any like nationally known program. And then you're going to go like, oh, were you saying they're the most improved? Well, I think there's a misconception that every band in Louisville and Leander and Northeast ISD and Round Rock and like are all amazing. And they are. They all end up incredibly good. I know that was improper grammar. But not everyone has the same feeders. Not everyone has lesson teachers. Not everyone has the same socioeconomics between schools. It is not, you can look it up. Vandergrift and Leander High School are very different in very different ways.
It's just what it is.
All right? That's just how things work. And
no shame to anybody, but that's how it is.
Rouse is different from Cedar Park, right? Yeah. Ronald Reagan is different from Churchill in San Antonio. But like you hear Leander and May, and they sound fine. They sound fine. But I don't think you would go like, I think they might be a state medalist. But then you know, as they go on, you get to like, man, so kudos to all the teachers and all the kids and all the parents and all that stuff at all the schools, but especially like a band like Leander where it's not all gold paved roads and like, oh, every kid is taking lessons. Yes, Aiden probably took lessons since he was 4 years old on trumpet.
Not everybody's taking lessons.
Not everyone's taking lessons. They can't say that at some schools where like 90% of the program is on lessons and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's enough hyping up the Leander High School band. But kudos to y'all. Kudos to Leander High School.
They work hard.
Now, color guard can learn choreography specific to the marching show as it is considered to be comparable to music. So we can learn music as percussionists and wind players. They can learn all of this stuff. Yeah, that counts.
Yep.
They can spin. And then, of course, you can do leadership training. Percussion color guard camps are permitted. All that stuff is available. And there's all these UIL summer marching band rules things. And I actually emailed Dr. Brad Kent, who is the president or in charge of music for UIL. And I said, there's some bands that are learning their pre-shows. They're learning their drills. They're learning like they're doing it. And the response that you would get from some of these guys goes, well, but it's not judged. So this isn't competitive. So
fair.
Rules and interpretations. And these are his words, Dr. Kent. One can argue that you can get away with setting pre-show visual as the rules specify that you cannot work on visual curriculum for the contest presentation. With the pre-show not being judged, would it count as part of your contest presentation? I don't think so. But, you know, what if you learned a pre-show that was also being played later on in the closer? I don't know.
I mean, my thing is like, you really can't wait.
Well, some people can't wait. Some people can't wait. And trust me, speaking of Leander ISD, there's some band directors that are real quick and heavy to report you if you did 1 minute past 8 hours or whatever. You can ask your dad about that one. I'm leaving that in. Now, on August 1st, not to imply that your dad was a phone caller or a receiver of a phone call, but he was in LISD. So what are you not allowed to do before August 1st? You can't learn drill, choreography, visual staging specific to the marching show. Yeah. The exception, again, is color guard. They can learn choreography. And there are no more
choreo fundamentals?
Yes. You can learn fundamentals, but you can't learn, well, here's the trick. Like, we're going to teach you some random band choreography.
That we're going to put together in a couple days.
Correct. Yeah. Like, okay, remember what we taught you? That's the first 64, like, gray areas. Areas.
That's fair. Fair enough.
No more than 10 hours of marching fundamental instruction from the last day of school until August 1st. So we'll let you play your horns all day long. But if you go 10 hours and 1 minute of marching, you're done. And for those of you that are curious, you get a reprimand in the UIL magazine called The Leaguer. It's in the back, and it'll be like, Leander High School got a strike because they violated the 8-hour rule. It's basically this. Now, you go over the 8 minutes at UIL and you get disqualified. So there's just UIL's great. There's some archaic things that need to be changed. So what happens on August 1st? Programs all across the state of Texas get their drill sheets, their UDBs, their mobile apps, and they start learning drill. And after August 1st or on in August, you can learn music and drill as much as you'd like. There are no time limits for rehearsals until your program starts school. Now, did you do 2-a-days or 3-a-days at Leander?
What do you mean? Like
9 to 9, 3, 3, 3? Or you do like a 4-hour, then you get a couple hours off and then come back for 4 hours?
It kind of depends. Like throughout the 4 years, they still were figuring out what exactly they wanted to do. Also, our school is under renovation, so we don't have as many facilities. Like there's many times where we would do like they're still doing it this year because they're still under construction, but it would be like on one day, it'd be like 8 to 12 and then 1 to 5 just wins. But then battery and percussion would do something. And then in between when we're gone, and then we'd swap and it would be a 8 to 12 and then a 4:30 to 7. And which was, dude, that was awesome because you can go home, you can chill. Get lunch with your section. It's good culture. Well, I liked it. So.
Y'all can, but the directors are running 3-a-days. They're going 9 to 9.
That's fair. Yeah.
Hey, but that's why you get the big bucks in Leander ISD as a high school and assistant band director.
That's why you don't get the big bucks.
Now, once school starts, not every school in the state of Texas starts on the same day. In fact, I think China Spring up the road, their first day of school, I think is tomorrow, which is August 4th.
Yeah.
Duncanville High School starts really early. There's as of right now, no way for you to start a week earlier on drill and get a special waiver. So if school starts on August 1st, you can learn drill on August 1st, and it's also your first day of school. So if Leander High School's in band camp for 9 hours, they can learn drill for 9 hours. But then if you're in school, you start to have to adhere to the 8-hour rule, which means you get 8 hours plus 1 hour, which is 9, to work on marching band stuff outside of school. No more than 8 hours of practice during the week. You get an extra hour on a contest day or football day. Yeah. Now, programs that start school before the last week of August, which would be like a China Spring who starts tomorrow, they must adhere to the 8-hour rule, but they are allowed to do an extra rehearsal time on a Saturday to maintain competitive balance with schools who would not be under the limit. So
fair enough.
Yeah, you get to come back on Saturday. I don't know how long you get, 4 hours, 8 hours, not really sure.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it equal. It is not equal because in the state of Texas, you just have to complete a certain amount of minutes or hours of school in a year so they can go back and forth. You may start school on the 13th, but you could end on July 5th because you took a 2-week winter break or spring break or whatever. So all of that stuff. But yes, it's UIL season, which means it's marching band season, which means the kids are back at school and the roads are getting clearer for people like you and I, which I'm happy about, which you should be happy about.
Okay.
But soon enough, then all the kids come back for college, and that's a whole other world of traffic. That's a whole other world. Now, Aiden, are you familiar with the Winter Guard International Indoor Percussion World?
Enough to know what goes on, not enough to have an opinion. I'll put it that way.
Well, and you know what? That's the good thing about being an American. Is you can have an opinion on anything, even if you don't know anything about that topic. Are you familiar with the group City Mystique?
I've heard the name, yeah. I'm
Not to be
familiar
confused with Music City Drum and Bugle Corps. Do you know what the Music City is? Where's the Music City?
No clue.
Nashville, Tennessee. Dolly Parton is going to haunt you. She's not dead yet. Don't ever die, Dolly.
Please.
Now, Music City is a Music City Mystique, MCM. They've been around for a number of decades. They're very good. I think they win every few years. Very competitive, very innovative, just fantastic. And for over 31 years, they've been kind of run and led in design and writing and by Shane Gwaltney. Now, Shane Gwaltney out of Nashville. Are you familiar with Synced Up Designs?
I'm not.
It's like a in-house, like one-stop shop for music, drill, costumes, that kind of stuff. Started it up. And I'll read you his Facebook post on May 21st, early this year. And I know, you're like, well, why didn't you talk about it earlier? We're going to get to that. After 31 years, I'm stepping away from Mystique. Synced Up Designs is growing like crazy and needs my full attention. The team that's been at Mystique have been chomping at the bit. They're ready. It's their time now. He goes on. It's a really long thing. You can go to his Facebook if it is a public post. But Shane, basically, this is his goodbye to Mystique because he has lots of groups that play his marching band shows. He's mainly a percussion arranger, but he has groups that people that would write the drill and write the music that he recommends. He's also, I believe, the program coordinator for Music City Drum and Bugle Corps.
Okay.
So he's got his hands in a lot of...
Music City Mystique is associated with Music
No,
City? Or
they are not.
Okay.
They share design.
Okay, so kind of, but no.
I think one of those groups would be, no, we're not. And one of the other groups might be like, yeah, but kind of.
Okay,
I won't say which one is which.
That's fair.
I just know that they're Music City Drum and Bugle Corps.
They're
Music
separate.
City Mystique.
They are separate,
yes.
yeah.
Well, 1 hour ago, that's incorrect. 1 hour ago, probably a day or so ago, Music City Mystique announced their design team. Now, some of these names you would recognize, possibly. Keith Potter, their program coordinator and visual designer. Do you know that name?
I do.
Where's Keith Potter at right now? It's okay if
Guess
you
I
don't.
No.
Boston Crusaders.
Oh, okay.
And was at Carolina Crown when they won their E equals MC squared. He was their coordinator. So he's kind of like, he's been doing this. He's doing it with Centerville Grove. He's done it with a number of marching band programs, WGI. Yeah. I'm not familiar with his work in marching percussion, but that doesn't mean, A, he hasn't done it, or B, that he hasn't done it well.
For sure.
Colin McNutt, battery arranger, the Boston Crusaders.
Yeah.
So we have a connection right there.
He signed my drum pad.
Wow.
Shout out.
Did he sign it like, why didn't you play drums?
Maybe.
Should have. Colin McNutt, one of the best teachers and writers out there in marching percussion. He's amazing. He's amazing. A holdover from the previous regime, Dr. Matt Jordan, music arranger, probably primarily the front ensemble, maybe some electronic stuff. So he's incredibly talented. I believe he has been helping out with the Blue Coats, or has worked with the Blue Coats with electronics. There's got to be a Blue Coats connection with Matt Jordan. Correct me if I'm wrong. CJ Barrow, music arranger. Lee Allman, music arranger. Lee Allman is currently the music arranger for the Carolina Crown, working with Joe Hobbs. No, Cliff Walker's with Carolina Crown. Lee Allman's with the Cavaliers. Oh boy. I think he is. Avon High School. Lee Allman's been working with Avon High School. I know he's writing drum and bugle corps stuff. And then Josh Nelson, design team. Not familiar with that name. Apologies, especially if I've ever judged you or talked to you. Don Click, design team. Don Click is, I believe, one of the founders of Music City Mystique. Like, he started at the very beginning.
That's the guy.
He's a WGI Hall of Famer. Like, he's a big deal in WGI. Yeah. He's also currently the program coordinator for the Colts Drum and Bugle Corps. Their resurrection into finals kind of coincided with him getting there. So he's at the Colts. And I think he's always been somewhat with his hand in Music City, enough to be like, you do your thing. Do you need me more? But this is just my interpretation of all that. So does that move your needle in any way? You're not a percussionist, and you're not like heavy into WGI percussion. But do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm excited to see. That's quite the big. I've never I'll put it this way: I've never fully sat down and watched a whole WGI show, but I'm intrigued.
For my money, Aiden, and I've told many people, including your father, this, there is no greater display of innovation in pageantry. That's right, I said it, than World Finals for WGI percussion.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of visual stuff, and I know the color guard people go like, you're crazy. All the visual innovation happens at World Finals for color guard. And maybe you're right. But I think when it comes to the way the music and sound and aesthetic, Saturday night, WGI is a feast for your ears and eyes. If you ever have the chance to go, you should.
Okay.
You go to World Finals, Scholastic Finals, and you're in awe. It is fantastic. So that's what I recommend. Okay. That's what I recommend. So speaking of old people,
right?
Don Click, Shane Gwaltney, old in terms of compared to you. We'll just put that.
Okay, cool.
The word legacy gets thrown around a lot these days.
Yeah.
To speak about one's legacy, or who is this, this person, this blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a new drum and or bugle corps on the scene. And I want to say new in quotation marks. Because New Jersey's premier performing arts organization boldly reshaping the DCI field for the 2026 season. Now, Dream Performing Arts Academy, which in parentheses is supposed to spell dream. I don't know why. Or maybe they just say it.
Maybe.
They are launching a sound sport called the Legacy Drum and Bugle Corps. Now, normally this wouldn't be like, oh, cool, good for this kind of thing. But there's two big reasons why I wanted to talk about it. Well, one is a lot of other reasons, but one is this group may or may not be somehow related to a corps that no longer exists, the Holy Name Garfield Cadets of Bergen County, who went inactive a few years ago. It's just, that's the fact. I'm going to go into it further. And I think that there's it is one of the, if not was like the oldest, longest running drum corps. So there's quite a bit of alumni, quite a bit of history, quite a bit of support. And I know that once the cadets announced that they were not coming out anymore, people have tried to, well, how do we do this? Some groups buy the uniforms, or they're buying the IP or whatever like that. So it looks like this group has cadets adjacent people, or formerly cadets people, in the board of directors, in the admin, and the staff, and the design team. You can go to their website. I think it's just dreamtoperform.org, and you can see a mock-up of what their uniform may look like. You can decide if the uniform has elements of another drum corps that may no longer exist, colors, designs. I will say, from a positive standpoint, it's good to see more groups starting out. That's and true. Joining the activity. Every year
everyone just seems to be leaving. So
correct.
It's good to see something.
So this is good. Yeah. I wish them the best of luck, especially because of anything that someone may connect the dots to, regardless of whether they are involved with or not. But the thing I really wanted to talk about was, when you see a group start a sound sport, and this is zero offense to sound sport groups out there, you don't normally start out the gate with DCI Hall of Famers as your design team.
Yeah, that typically doesn't happen.
This group is starting off with some heavy hitters that may or may not have ties to the former Holy Name Cadets Garfield of Bergen County.
Yep.
Their artistic director, Greg Lagola, fashion designer, famous right now for what he's doing with Bluecoats. And other drum corps has done some things like that. But he's setting the world on fire of art and pageantry with the Bluecoats. Program consultant Tony Hall, he's the coordinator for the Phantom Regiment. Now that they have been he kind of had a stint with other places, and he came back post-COVID.
Yeah.
Phantom Regiment been on a tear. Brass arranger, DCI Hall of Famer Jay Bocook of the Cadets, currently of the Cavaliers. Brass supervisor Matt Stratton, currently brass supervisor at the Cavaliers, was also in the similar role with the Cadets. Percussion arranger Dave Dumont, I am not as familiar. Drill design John Bilby was designing for the Cadets. And then guard designer supervisor PJ Tankard, who is the caption head, caption supervisor, caption manager currently of the Madison Scouts color guard. But he also works with maybe running and designing for AMP, which I believe might be an East Coast kind of thing. Okay. So it said they'll perform as a DCI Sound Sport participant in its first season, 2026. So best of luck to them. They want to have audition camps in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and our great state of Texas.
Great.
Best of luck to them. Best of luck to all the groups that are trying to keep this activity alive and going and growing 100%. And growing, because we need all of those things.
This is true.
Aiden, it's time. We have been building to this final week of drum and or bugle corps. It is finals week. It is championship week. Now, last year when I was doing this solo, and I'm so glad to have you here, by the way. Have I said that on camera? I'm glad to have you part. We'll sign off at some point. Where we're really like, oh, Aiden, you've been great. And, we shake our hands, each other's hands the whole time. Last time I did like a prelims predictions, and then came back and did a semis predictions, and came back did it was a lot of filming on the morning of and uploading and all that stuff. But we'll talk about why we're not doing that this year after we talk about our championship predictions. And I have asked Aiden to do the top 15 because I want to see who you think's going to make the movie theater.
Yes.
Now, in the interest of tension, and because I have a feeling we're going to be 95% similar, possibly, I would like to go back and forth, starting at 15.
Okay.
All right. So I think 15th, and you can offer a little commentary if you'd like, because I will. I think 15th will be Pacific Crest, but I think Academy closes the gap and makes it close, but they ran out of time. Pacific Crest in 15th.
I also have Pacific Crest.
Oh my gosh.
So we're good. We're chilling.
All right. 14th. I've got the Spirit of Atlanta.
Me too.
Oh my. Now, we haven't looked at each other's.
This is okay. And
then in 13th, I have the Madison Scouts Drum and Bugle Corps. Okay. All right. Wow. All right. In 12th, The Colts of Dubuque, Iowa.
The Colts of Dubuque.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, so we're both going to be wrong together or right together.
Yeah, we're in this. Okay.
In 11th place in a triumphant return to DCI Finals, the Blue Knights. Yep.
Blue Knights.
Oh, boy. All right. I think we might be similar the whole way. 10th place, the Final Sunset Troopers.
10th place, the Blue Stars.
Oh!
That's okay. I'm clip farming a little bit. But it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be close between them two.
I agree.
I don't. If it was me, I would want the Blue Stars being Troopers, just because I like what they are doing personally more. But I think the Troopers have been creeping up for a while, and I think maybe there could be something that could happen, or maybe I'm completely wrong. So
I don't disagree, but it's like that's why I have in 9th I have Blue Stars and you have Troopers. I think Blue Stars has more room to grow from a performance standpoint.
That's true.
Like if they can water the battery book a little, or do something here. Like I can see it maybe going back and forth. Every other night it changes. I don't know, but yeah. So Blue Stars and 9th. But you also make good. We both make good points. That's what's so good about us is we make good points.
True.
If we had shirts and say like Daniel and Aiden, we make good points. Someone make that shirt for us. 8th place, the Green Machine, the Cavaliers.
Yep.
7th place, the Mandarins Private Resort Island.
Yeah, Mandarins.
Mandarins. Yeah, I think the gap is too big for Cavaliers to close. I think, no offense to the men of the Cavaliers, Mandarins are just outperforming in comparison to the Cavaliers. I think Mandarins they're going to be cleaner, stronger.
Oh yeah,
and the Cavaliers are still trying.
I think
the show's beefy for the Cavaliers, and congrats to them if they were to finish 8th after finishing 11th last year. This is a massive improvement. All right, so that's top 6.
Top 6.
This is where it makes some people mad, I think.
Yep, this
possibly
is where it happens.
Carolina Crown is 6th.
Carolina Crown.
Ah!
Yeah, we're on the same page.
All right, this one, there is some wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to happen, so I'm going to go with my brain. Phantom Regiment in 5th.
Phantom Regiment in 5th.
Okay.
Yep.
I wanted to put Phantom Regiment 4th.
I'd love to do that. But I don't think it will.
The Blue Devils, who I have in 4th, I think
I have them in 4th as well. So
they know how to close. They're champions. They're expert designers and performers.
I will say I really love the Blue Devils show a lot.
It grows on you.
It's really cool.
It is. But if there is a thorn in the Blue Devils side, it is the Phantom Regiment. It's been that way since 1996. A final surprise, Phantom jumps.
That'd be crazy.
What world would you be in when you say Blue Devils are 5th and Crown is 6th? I mean, it's not a world that
I just don't
anybody can. But I don't think that's going to happen. But wouldn't that be interesting? So, all right,
wouldn't it?
So we have the same top 3. I think our 3rd place is probably the same. The Santa Clara Vanguard. Yes. All right.
Let's say the 2nd place at the same time.
Okay, so are we going to go 1, 2, 3, say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I want to say it. Like, I don't know. Okay. I don't. On the car drive here, I listen to both shows, and I still don't know, and I am scared.
You got to put it on tape.
I think I know.
All right, 2nd place. 1, 2, 3, say it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Blue
Boston.
Coats.
Oh shoot.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So
I don't want the Blue Coats to be 2nd. I don't, because I'm a Blue Coats
I don't
fan
either.
For life. I don't, but man, the Boston Crusaders.
You got me tickled.
It's just so cool.
We haven't had a chance to talk about San Antonio, and this will take a quick aside because I think it goes all the way. I was not sold at all on the Boston Crusaders until I saw them live in San Antonio.
Absolutely, I agree.
And it was visceral. The performance quality of the performers, just like
the live stream. The live stream does not do them justice at all.
It is just the performance quality was just such a high level that if you are a fan of good playing and marching, then you're
gonna
fine.
Love it.
And it's
similar to like the Blue Devils in the past for me. I'd watch it on the stream and I'm like,
yes,
how is this beating Blue Coats, or how is this beating blah blah blah? And I was just a young kid. And then when I went to San Antonio for the first time, and I was standing next to Jason Gonzalez, and the Blue Devils walked out. I mean, it wasn't for the first time, but like I think it was the 2023 year of the cutouts. I was like, how's the Garden of Love not winning? And then I pulled up, and then the Blue Devils walked out on the field, and they played the cutouts, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's why.
And I shut up. Yeah.
Boston Crusaders has a championship core, without a doubt. But I think Bluecoats have a championship show.
You're so right. Yeah.
And I don't want to, and I want to say my words carefully. You can agree or disagree or whatever. I think the Bluecoats have designed a show for an activity that isn't there yet. These are not, I have to quote my friends who have said this before, but DCI is not where the Bluecoats are. Bluecoats are like 3 or 4 years in the future, which I love. Last year's show was the same way. Garden of Love, the other show. Like, this was an activity. And I'm going to misquote what Michael Cesario had said. The job of the champion is to push the activity, is to innovate. Boston have designed a really good 2000s drum corps show. Absolutely. You can make it early 2000s, you can make it 20 teens, but it is a show that is of the time, if not of an earlier time. And that's not a good or bad thing, and I don't mean it as a negative, but as someone who designs shows and who always is like, what if we did this? And somebody, I won't name any designers, coordinators' names. It's like, no, okay, all right, calm down, pull back a little bit.
Yeah. I'm
a big fan of what the swings that the Bluecoats take. So that's why I'm on Team Bluecoats to win.
I'll put it this way. To watch, my favorite show to watch is Boston Crusaders, but my favorite show in terms of, like, you're going to sit down in Boston and you're going to love it. But you can't, not everyone is going to love the Bluecoats, but I have to admire, like, Bluecoats is my favorite design show at just point blank. More like everything they're doing with the synth. I don't think it's cheating, by the way. I don't know why people are saying that.
Are you serious?
What? That doesn't even make like, okay, but whatever. I'm second guessing myself a little bit, but like it's already said, so you can't change it. But
the graphics already up.
Yeah. Man, it's just, they really push it. I mean, that's why, like, my dream drum corps to March has always been the Bluecoats, because I'm just a fan of how they push the activity, and I think given a point in time, I've said this before, like, if the Bluecoats didn't exist, I think the shows would, if Changes Everything didn't exist, the shows this year would have looked different, because they're pushing the activity. So
agreed. And it trickles down, and not that people are doing it consciously, but there'd also be subconsciously. I mean, you obviously have the Blue Devils doing what they do.
Yep.
It's an art gallery show. Boston's an art gallery show. You have the Santa Clara Vanguard visually doing an art gallery show with art and fashion and all that stuff. Phantom Regiment going without a title or theme.
Aura.
Absolute art, as we would call it. So you're right. There is a trickling down. And that's why I think I want more shows like Bluecoats.
Agreed.
And if Bluecoats win, that is where the activity goes. If Boston wins from a show design standpoint, we slow the car down.
That's true. Yeah.
And I personally would not enjoy top 6 drum corps
as much
doing that type of show. And I know, and it sounds negative, and you're, they're playing it. Like, that's not what it is. I'm the guy that wants to put rap on the field when no one else is doing it. I'm the one that wants to wear ball caps. I want to wear Nike shoes. Like, I want all these huge swings. And right now, the Bluecoat show is doing that. And they're doing it at such a high level that you can reward that as the champion, and you're fine. You can also reward Boston as the champion, and that would be fine as well.
The scenario we're seeing, I was thinking about it, because actually my list, I have Bluecoats winning, but I changed my mind on the way here, only because I was thinking about what happened last year with the Phantom Regiment and Carolina Crown. The Phantom Regiment, I see a scenario where we go to finals, and I mean, when I was listening to the 2 shows back to back, the crowd was more engaged and louder for the Boston Crusaders. Not that that means all of it, but I do think there is a scenario, because the ending of Boston Crusaders is, in my opinion, is fantastic. I really, it's just like, you sit there and you're like, wow, that was great. I think there's a scenario where the Boston Crusaders are going to steal the crowd a little more and could possibly I mean, I still think that's what happened with Phantom Regiment last year. They got driven up. Their scores definitely got driven up more just because they caught the audience. I think Boston, not that I necessarily, I any day of the week, I wish I could be like, Blue Coats, undeniable. But that's just, I mean, how beautiful it is that we have a drum corps season where we don't know who the winner is because it's been a while since we've had that. But, yeah, I think there's a scenario where that happens, and I think it might. But I also, I mean, difference is 0.1. I like but yeah. Like to watch Boston. Love the show of the Blue Coats. And that doesn't mean, I'm not saying I don't like to watch. I love watching the Blue Coats. So it just all depends.
It does. And to bring it home, you brought something up that I forgot that I was going to say. Depending on how the seedings go, and maybe we got the prelim schedule out right now. It was supposed to come out at some point today. So if it is out, I will nope, nothing yet as far as I know.
Got it.
Here's the way I think. Boston can win a championship playing after the Blue Coats.
True.
I think if the Blue Coats play second to last, the crowd's going to appreciate the Blue Coats. Boston can turn that on. I don't think Blue Coats on Saturday night are going to be able to win playing after Boston.
That's also a good point. I don't have words to say. That was a good point.
I think
Great
that
point. No, like,
and you weren't there because I don't think you were alive. 2008, Phantom Regiment.
A year old.
Okay, so in Bloomington, Indiana, all the old heads will know what I'm about to say. In Bloomington, that's the year that Phantom Regiment came in fourth, and after every round moved up. And on finals night,
that was the
Spartacus. Yes.
Yep.
And I was in that stadium, and because it was in Bloomington because Lucas Oil wasn't ready yet. And Phantom Regiment came out second to last because Blue Devils were currently first. And the crowd, the crowd won the DCI championship for the show for the Phantom Regiment because the cheering and the yelling and all this stuff. And no, I didn't yell, I am Spartacus because I'm not a nerd. As we have a band show talking about band. Anyway, the crowd just went bananas. And then Blue Devils came out with their show. I can't remember the name of the show. It was about nonsense. It was really, really good. Well done. On paper, the better show. But you could tell the crowd was okay. It was fine. And I think you could even tell from the performance quality of the Blue Devils that they're like, oh, man, because they were in the tunnel and they heard the crowd lose their minds from Phantom Regiment. So when I say that if Blue Coats are in the tunnel and they hear Boston Crusaders crowd, it could. I don't know. I don't think it's to that level, but it is definitely something to take into account. I think the crowd. Do you think the crowd wants Boston to win this year?
Yes,
I do too.
They do.
I do too. But the judges, they don't always give the crowd what they want. Ideally they're giving the right drum corps that deserves to win the award, and that will happen again. But I earlier predicted we could have a Boston Blue Coats. We might have Blue Coats Boston.
Ooh,
I think we could have that. Or what is it, Blue Coats Boston?
I think if on the Blue Coats, I do think there is a chance where they could possibly play, and you'd be like, it would be undeniably winning. If maybe they have like a trick up their sleeve for Indy.
Ryan Lott comes out and joins the Blue Coats. Yeah. He's not young enough.
But I think like if there could be, I don't know, like there's still, I think the reason why I'm kind of straying towards Boston is just because I just like the ending better. I think the Blue Coats ending is kind of, I don't know. I'm not a show designer.
It's a little more brainy, a little.
I like the closer. Yeah. I'm talking about the last 15 seconds.
Sure.
I don't know. It could be cool.
No, I got you.
Maybe I know like it was cool. I don't know when they revealed it because I wasn't like as tapped in with the live streams last year. But like in Indy, the first time I saw it, like when they changed their uniforms and it was like, whoa, like that's different and cool and whatever.
Right.
But there could be something coming that could make them undeniably first, but
that's the thing.
In the state that it's in right now, yeah.
I agree. I don't know that either of them are undeniable and like that's your champion.
Yeah.
So we got 3 nights. We got 3 nights figured out, and Boston's been in that second, third, fourth range enough years to have the experience to finish it.
Really push it.
And Blue Coats know how to finish it. They're a 2-time champion.
Yep.
But they're also a multiple second place finishing group as well. So It's going to be exciting either way, and we will be there. We will be in Indianapolis. We are getting there sometime on Thursday, so apologies to the groups that are playing in prelims, and apologies to the groups that are playing on Friday in semifinals, because we will be out on the town, more than likely at Military Park, most of, if not all of the day on Friday, filming content.
Yep.
We will be watching lot stuff. We'll be listening to drums and guards, watching guards, brass circles, talking to some staff, talking to some people, anyone we can grab off the street in a safe and legal way.
Yep.
And interviewing you, the fans, in anything like hot takes, predictions, favorites. Very clean, right? Like, you can be like, oh, I think Boston's the way to go, but don't be like, oh yeah, Boston's the effing, like, because you're from Boston and you're probably like, oh, give me a coffee and Harvard. I was horrible. I'm sorry, but Boston people curse.
They do.
Keep it clean. If you see either of us, we will be out there and we will have our microphones and our cameras, and we want to talk to y'all and get your thoughts, and we will put it in the post-finals episode of the program, but then we'll have another one where we wrap up finals and all that. And we'll just get to talk to people out there.
Yep.
We got I got recognized at the Alamo Dome. Did I tell you that?
Yeah. Well, no.
Some guy goes, hey, are you General Effect Media? So I have a name. I'm a person. But thank you for recognizing me. But yes, Military Park. I don't know what time we'll get there. We'll wake up at a leisurely time, grab some brunch or breakfast, and then head to Military Park and just record. And Aiden will interview. I'll interview.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. We're just going to talk about drum corps. And that's what we'll do. So, you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that does it for today's episode of the program.
Good episode.
It is. It is.
Covered.
We covered a lot, and we had some very personal and what's the word? When you're emotional, like, we're attached to, like, yeah. And I think that's what people really, how many, this one's gonna win, and this is the number, like, but
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but it is cool, and it's gonna be exciting. In the comment section, put your predictions. You could put what your heart wants.
You put your top 12.
Ooh,
actually.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Yeah. Specify if it's your what the heart wants versus what the brain is, because
I would have a heart top 12, and maybe that could be something I do.
I mean, in my heart, it's like Blue Coats and then Phantom Regiment in second.
I'll tell you what. I'll comment. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, I'm going to think about it on my way home, but I may comment what my heart wants.
What the heart wants.
12.
Yeah,
I'll comment it.
Let us know what you think about that. Let us know if you're going to come say hey to us on Friday. We may go into the Dome. I don't know. It just depends. And we might have so much fun and so much content. We don't need to do any of that. But come lotting with us. Military Park. That's where all the drum corps go and rehearse before they trek all the way to Indianapolis. So, so I guess I'll see you in a few days.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis, Indiana. The Hoosier State.
What does that mean?
That's the Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh.
Like, we're the Lone Star State.
Okay.
They're the Hoosier State.
I didn't know that.
Really? What are they teaching you in history class?
I don't know.
We take Texas history down here. That's why we know. That's right. In middle school and high school, right?
Yeah. And college Texas government. I had to take
Really?
that through ACC. It's required, or at least for UT. But I took it through ACC.
Must be new stuff for the youngsters.
I guess
for
Texas
the
government,
kids.
it's the same.
It is. Yeah. Well.
Well, give or take.
All right. I don't have anything witty to say at the end. Drum corps season. Oh, we have some surprises coming up. Aiden doesn't even know about it yet.
Yeah.
In future episodes. So check back. It's going to be great. Not only will I'll finally work on our new set, which is over there. But we're going to have some new stuff coming along the show. So keep checking back. We'll be back. We're not stopping once drum corps is over. Did you know that? We're not stopping.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop.
Okay. All right. We can get up then.